Okay, I've started live streaming. Let us start the session now. Sorry. A very good morning. Let us start the session for today. Warm welcome to our Masters, Brother Huang, Hualien Dharma team, and brothers and sisters around the globe to Saturday Hualien Dharma Talk. Today, I'd like to share Master Cheng Yen words of wisdom. Live the Dharma, gather infinite treasures. Intercept from Master Cheng Yen's teaching, Charity Achievement Report on 2nd of March 2026. I often hope that Tzu Chi volunteers will reflect on the value of their lives. I too reflect on the value of my life every single day. Wherever Tzu Chi members from different places return to share their experiences, their reflection on the value of life also become the value of my own life, for they are my disciples who faithfully follow their master's teachings. When everyone applies the Dharma they have learned in their daily lives, all their participation in Tzu Chi activities becomes the accumulations of immeasurable treasures. This is collected by Sister Xing Qing from Tzu Chi Singapore. Grateful to sisters. Now, let us send our sincere prayers into 10 directions. May the Sahel land be free from disasters and peace prevails in the world. Let us sing the prayer song with sincere piousness.
Sister, no sound. Okay, ready.
Thank you.
All my heart is filled with of the world that join the heart and sorrow of harmony and I feel deep gratefulness. May all the Buddhas see my prayer. With one heart that judge and our hatred their own suffering here and here.
May all minds be purified. May there be peace in the community. May there be no disasters in the world. Together we pray for universal love and blessing. With loving respect, gratitude, and confidence, let us wish every person in our lives a healthy body, an unenlightened mind, and total fulfillment in universal love. Now, let us expand this consciousness to include every person in the world, every being in the universe. Let our unified love make this wonderful world even better. Let us all immerse ourselves in the joyful embrace of universal love. Before we hear the wonderful sharing review, let us invite Abode Masters to lead us in paying homage to Triple Gems. Let us pay our respects for these teachings and explanations to the Buddha and Master Cheng Yen by making 3 sincere bows. Please rise, palms together. First bow. Second bow. And third bow. And a bow to our beloved Abode Masters who could join us today. Okay, today we are most humble and most grateful to have 3 powerful speakers with us today, Brother Joe, Master Tersil, and Brother Kelvin Huang. Okay, let me pass the platform to the next to Sister Suching, who will do the summary review for last week. And Sister.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, hold on.
Good morning.
Share. So if you use Notebook LM, they can generate such nice, beautiful pictures. Okay, last week we had Brother Joe, and Brother Joe said, in an online room we gather from all over the world to listen, with earnest hearts as the morning lights begin to glisten. We praise our fellow volunteer role models for all they have achieved in simple truths that the faithful have long believed. Great Bodhisattvas ask for the wisdom of the ages, seeking the hidden word written on the holy pages. With humble hearts, we request a special kind of permission to clarify the path and the nature of their mission. Is it for self or for helping every neighbor to reach the final goal through our dedicated labor? These questions seem the same but hold a different meaning. On the Buddha's strength is where all of us are leaning. One answer stays for the people and the nation, a single narrow path for the entire creation, growing within yourself while you lead the others forward, sailing through the storms as the vessel travels shoreward. Okay, hold on. Then our next speaker was our brother Sultan from Indonesia. And he said, rains fell for days on the island of Sumatra, destroying every home through the force of heavy aqua. No power or water for people in the village, surrounded by mud and excessive water's messy pillage. Volunteers arrived with food and heavy burdens, walking through the mud behind the heavy water curtains. They traveled to the hills, and from there they started working, where the danger of the flood was always closely lurking. You are our savior now, the old mothers loudly shouted. Their gratitude and hope would no longer be doubted. With the spirit of the Buddha, volunteers provided healing, answering the cries with a deep and honest feeling. Volunteers cleared the silt so children could be learning, back inside the schools for a future they are yearning. Compassion is a bridge that the world is always needing, while the hungry souls are the ones we are feeding. And lastly, we had Sister Hui, who spoke about service, others grow within. The shadows slowly grew for the elders in the city, waiting for a cure while the world looked with pity. A year passed in the darkness of the vision until the doctors came with very sharp precision. 20 members joined for the service in the morning, starting with a prayer as the day was early dawning. They walked the patients up to the operating center, watching as the light would begin to slowly enter. 100 surgeries were completed in a flurry, moving through the day without any kind of worry. A woman wants to dance while another starts her sewing, seeing all the love that the volunteers are showing. We give the people hope and a reason for rejoicing. Every happy heart is a story they are voicing. Serving suffering souls is the way we start growing. Seeds of kindness now are the ones we are sowing. Okay, Kan for listening. I will stop share, hand over to Sister Kaping to introduce our next speaker. Over to you, Sister Kaping.
Good morning, sisters and brothers. The next speaker is, he needs no introduction, Brother Joe. We await his, insights every Saturday. Yeah, Brother Joe, over to you.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everybody. First of all, I'd like to welcome all of those that are currently in Hualien right now. I think it's wonderful that we have these groups of volunteers and brothers and sisters coming back, most importantly, to come back home and to also see our master. I think even though we might think of ourselves as so very far away in terms of cultivation, but I think to master, but I strongly believe that one of the reasons why the bodhisattva path lies within people or masses of people is because with ideal itself, it is not enough. You need that affinity with group of people to drive. It's not just your personal vow that is strong enough. You need that affinity. You need that someone in your life to push you forward. It's not just your own power. I think that the answers are within the people because that's the people that's either going to push you or pull you. And we are learning our ability to view everyone as somebody who is pushing us toward the right direction, even though at times these are the people that could give us some obstacles. But we learn to treat everyone as somebody who is pushing and pulling for us. And a lot of times, it's it's the different sides of the same coin. It's the same very important affinity that will help pull us in the right direction if we keep this affinity. So that's why I always mention that with each other, we are the best protectors for each other because we help guard. Because you are on, I will be on. Because you're online and you're diligent, I will also be online and diligent. That is the kind of pull that we individuals need from this group. So it's not just that we are learning from the group, but within the group, within the affinity, that is helping us moving forward. So I think that it is with this, I start that we need each other. A lot of times, I was asking, yesterday I was asking, do we have the sharing this morning? And there's always this very slight feeling that, well, if we're all busy, then it's okay, we can skip, right? It's always easy for me to think about skipping or taking the day off. And there are things, I have to start worrying about at 7 o'clock. We have all these meetings, rolling afterwards. But it is because that there is this affinity that, we have to be on and we have to be here that pulled me to be more diligent, to continue on this path. And I think that is the most wondrous part in all of this. It's not just on your own will alone. Master always says that it is the group of people that's also pulling for her, pushing her forward. She could have easily done all these things, didn't have to do all these things and completed her own degree, complete her own studies. But it was the group of people that is pushing and pulling her. And I think that was very important. That is very important. So, so I want to start with that. In fact, we are in the study group, in the book study group in at the abode. We're now into chapter 6 of the Lotus Sutra, and in chapter 6, it's talking about the the Buddhahood that the Buddha had given, that had foreshadowing and given to his disciple, 4 of his disciples. And within it, it talks about walking among the people. It talks about being among the people, being respectful, being, part of all these people. And I think that was a very important part, that when all these people around you that you deem as your very close affinity, then these are going to be something that's going to help you, driving you forward. And I have always think that that's a very integral part of cultivation path. It's never something that's on your own, not just because you can't practice it on your own, but because you need that positive feedback, the positive energy that we each other give to each other. We need that more than we needed to be tested, more than we needed to have a place where we have the obstacles. I think people don't just present as obstacles or tests or testing ground for us to prove that we are there. I think that the affinity of the people is such that we are the strength, together we have the strength, the affinity to push and to push forward. All right, so we're going to begin. And that further stresses the issue here, in that we are now into the chapter 2, preaching, which is how do we get there? How do we get to where all the role models are? And look at this, right? So you have the people, you have the main protagonist that is not the Buddha. Without this person asking the question, the Buddha will not be able to respond. So, in another word, this is the very same thing that follow what I just talked about. We needed the affinity of the people to push us and pull us on this direction. I don't know if the great magnificent Bodhisattva Mahasattva, if he did not ask this question, would the Buddha say what he said, in response? If there was no question, would there even be an answer? We needed this, and it's coming through from all groups of people. And we could see this as somebody who is posing a challenge. As I mentioned yesterday in my talk here at the abode to our brothers and sisters from Malaysia, that sometimes when people ask you these questions, you think of it as posing a challenge, as if they are challenging your authority, they are challenging your belief. Or you can think of it as they're asking the question to help you move forward with your agenda, move forward with what you want to preach. And if you see this in a different light, you could see the great magnificent Bodhisattva Mahasattva as somebody who is, sort of, in our usual terms, right, digging a trap, a hole to sort of, to sort of guide the Buddha to answering in a certain way. Because as we're going to find out later, that the Bodhisattva Mahasattva actually have follow-on questions that was very sharp. Okay, so if you are someone who is like me, a very, very ordinary, who is still finding his way in the realm of cultivation and practice. Sometimes, if in the wrong atmosphere, in the wrong setting, you could think of this as a challenge, as a start of a debate, as something that is trying to challenge your authority. But the Buddha didn't feel this way, because number one, the great magnificent Bodhisattva Mahasattva was being very humble, was being very respectful, right? So after the praise, he said, is it okay? No, he said that after he requested if it's okay to ask the question, he asked this question. Then it came in two forms, question 1 and question 2. If Bodhisattva Mahasattva wished to readily attain Anuttara Samya Sambodhi, which Dharma door should they practice? And then he asked again, which Dharma door will enable Bodhisattva Mahasattva to readily attain Anuttara Samya Sambodhi? Now, let me, before I get into these two questions, let me once again go back to what I was saying before. In the wrong settings, in the wrong environment, in the wrong person, this could be completely construed as someone who is doubting the faith. Now imagine this, that this is someone who has achieved, right? It's a Bodhisattva Mahasattva. It's great, magnificent Bodhisattva Mahasattva. And it could be seen as one of the more elders that's within the Sangha. This is after 42 years of the Buddha being preaching. And after 42 years, your oldest or one of your most senior student coming to ask you, so what should I do to really readily attain my diploma? Imagine this, if you're a PhD candidate, after so many years, you're asking your professor, right? What can I do? I've done all these work. I've been here. You kept me in your research for all these years. Well, what am I going to do? When am I going to get my diploma? It could be construed as that, but it's not. Instead, it's something that they're very humbling asking. But the content makes you wonder, if after 42 years, why are you still asking something that is so fundamental, right? It's not something that is very advanced question. This is a very fundamental question. And you're still asking this after 42 years of practice, after 42 years of preaching. So once again, I would like to, I always like to pitch these in different light so that we could see this from different light. Now, the great magnificent Bodhisattva Mahasattva himself was very humbling, and he even asked for the permission to ask. So maybe that sort of make it a little bit more respectful. But look at how the Buddha answered this question. I have no way of knowing the motivation of the great magnificent Bodhisattva Mahasattva. Was he trying to pose a challenge? Was he trying to ask a question? Like, I've been with you for all these years, yet I'm still asking the most basic fundamental question. How do we get there, right? It's not, haven't we always been on it? It's almost like if I'm asking Master Cheng Yen, well, so what is Tzu Chi? This is almost like, a question where you shouldn't be asking. Shouldn't you know already? Why are you asking now? And you are one of the more role models, right? So why are you asking this question now? But first of all, that's if you go in deeper, and I like to always think of things from different perspectives, and also from my own perspective. If I were the person that was being asked, and if the setting weren't correct, if my mindset wasn't in the gratefulness setting, right? If my mindset is, well, you are one of the more bright students, you should know. Why are you asking this question, right? So I think, first of all, understanding the perspective, being respectful to each other, including the Buddha being respectful to the students, because he understands that some of these questions the students will not even ask, even if they don't understand. And that's where I'm beginning to go back to my original point, is we need each other. The enlightened one needed us, the ones that need to be enlightened. And we need each other. The unenlightened one needed the enlightened one to take us out, to take us and help us and relieve us. So this is a world where it is something that we need to work together. The enlightened one needed all of us to be enlightened. The unenlightened one needed the enlightened one to guide us. This is just the way it is. That's why the answer is always going among the masses, because we need each other. You cannot do this alone. Not just the practice, but the motivation, the drive, and also a lot of times the confrontation, the questions. These are the things that make us move forward. So I did some time to analyze these two questions, right? So I first explained what these are. And I said that these are the same questions. So why are they asked differently? And so I broke it down into two different parts. One is, how do I get there? And one is, how do I get others to get there? Right? These are the two questions. And I think that there lies the key, in that you are asking two questions because you're thinking that maybe there are two answers. You're asking two questions because, number one, these two are different to you. Number two, you're thinking that there are different answers. You're asking question A because you're thinking that there is an answer to question A. You're asking question B because you're thinking there's an answer to question B, and the answers are different. That's why you need to ask them differently. So there are many reasons that we can think deeper. There are many things that we can think deeper just by seeing these two questions. And that's, I believe, it's not a joy, but it's something that if we were trying to completely understand this or try to understand, I think it's something that we could explore within ourselves. What does it mean? Don't just read it and then accept it. Question. And then the process of your practice lies in finding the answer. So these two questions are different. And that also means maybe, to some people, these two questions have different answers. So how would the Buddha answer? Buddha said, good man, this one Dharma door is called infinite meanings. So I want to start here. That the Buddha praised the great magnificent Bodhisattva Mahasattva for asking this question. There was no challenge. There was no disrespect. There was simply a question coming from somebody who wishes to make sure. Now, like I said, if I were the student, I might feel that after 40 some years, why in the world am I still not sure about the answer to this very fundamental question? There might be some anger in me. There might be some, impatience. There may be some uneasiness. But the person answering the question, praise the person for asking. Maybe because you're being brave, you're being true to yourself, and you are representing everybody to call out and answer a question that everybody has, but maybe not many people is willing to ask. Or the student could be very, very humbling, respectful, and asking a question that is very fundamental because he has more in his mind. He has more. And so the Buddha, the teacher, being all wise, started with the praise. Good question. Very good. And if you switch places, if I were the person being asked in the wrong settings, it might not go down so easy. I might have a quarrel because I might think that you are challenging. I might reply with a question, haven't you learned enough? Don't you know the answer? What would you think the answer would be? Right? So there are all these things that the teacher could respond. There are all these things, and they would still be correct, right? Now, if you read other sutras, there was another sutra, Leng Yan Jin, which is one of the sutra that is probably the most profound. And when Ananda asked this question, the Buddha did not answer. The Buddha guided Ananda with a series of questions back, right? So here, Buddha did none of that. Buddha was very straightforward. You ask the question, I give you the answer. So all these things are something that maybe it's because the respectfulness of the student, and maybe because it's this student, the great, magnificent Bodhisattva Mahasattva. It's not Ananda, and it's not something that, it's something that Buddha need to be very straightforward, give the answer to everybody. So whatever it is, number one, the Buddha was very, very straightforward, give the answer right away. Now imagine this. When we come to talk to Master, there are times when you ask questions, you don't get answers right away. You either don't get answers right away. Well, let me break this down. You either don't get any answers, or you get a long, long answer that you don't understand. Rarely, but you do, rarely, you get an answer right away. And usually, these are things that needed to be resolved right there. And I wanted to say this because there are things that you needed to be guided to think, right? Master or Buddha wants you to finish that thought and guide you. On the other hand, there are things that need to be resolved. For example, I'll be going there to report to Master that one of our recycling center, had a fire. And what happened, right? So all these things have to be right, direct. You reported that something happened, right? That it went on fire. We talk about the time. We talk about place. We talk about anybody get hurt. Did it involve other people? What's going to happen afterwards? And we're going to do what? These are very direct. And then Master will directly give answers right away. These are something that Master would say, well, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think we should do? Master didn't do that. Master will give orders right away. So that means this question required immediate answer. And that's what the Buddha did. Direct answer. Because it's not something that's going to guide you. This is something that you need. This is something that everybody needs. And the answer is going to be very direct. So right away, the Buddha says, if you wish to practice the one Dharma door, there's only one. The one Dharma door, there are two questions, but there's only one Dharma door. This is the only answer that's going to fit for both questions. Do not think that there is another answer. This is the only answer. And there's only one Dharma door that's called infinite meanings. Bodhisattva who wish to practice and learn infinite meanings should observe all things. And this is the key. You're gonna see, you're gonna observe. There isn't a fixed answer. Why? Because the nature and appearance of all things have always been empty and still. It's empty and still. It's changing. It has a property of never being the same, neither large nor small. You cannot fix, you cannot identify it and say, this is it. You can't. All things have always been like this, neither arising nor ceasing, neither abiding nor moving, neither advancing nor retreating, like empty space. They are non-dual. Duality means yes, no. Non-dual means it's all there in between. This is the idea that we have in mathematics. You have discrete numbers like 1 and 2, 1.1 and 1.2. And then you have these non-discrete numbers, anything in between. They're so small. They're so infinitesimally infinity in between 1 and 2, in between 0 and 1. There's 0.1, 0.11, 0.111. There's infinite numbers in between 0 and 1. They're non-dual. It's not either 0 or 1. It's actually all in between. This is what all things are. That's why it's constantly changing. It's always bouncing back and forth, and it's never one fixed answer. Therefore, we should observe all things to keep everything open. All right. So we're gonna sort of let me move one more slide. Okay. So observe all things. What does that mean? To attain Buddhahood and transform sentient beings, right? So this is the answer to both. You obtain yourself and transform or enable others. So 2 things, 1 answer. 2 questions, 1 answer. Maybe the person asking the question expects two answers, because ultimately, so today I'm sort of tracing my thought process with you guys. When the question was asked, what does that mean? Psychologically, if I were the person asking something like this, would it mean disrespect? Would it mean that I don't trust you? Would it mean that I'm losing faith? Psychologically, if I'm the one answering the question, would I feel challenged? Would I feel that you are being disrespectful? Because after 40 some years, you are asking a very fundamental question to the person that is answering. And I believe that Buddha, with infinite wisdom, answer in the most direct way. There's no going around. There is no, Zen feeling, like answering the question with the question. It was very direct, and it was being very respectful to each other. That, thank you, good man, raising a good question. Very good. And let me give you the answer right away. There was no back and forth to, try to guide you, try to make you think. There was a straight, direct answer, because this needed to be addressed. This needed to be guided right away. It's not something that you need to figure out yourself. It's something that I'm going to help you, that we're going to help each other. That's something that I believe is the reason why the question and the answer was very direct. So the answer was to observe all things. What does that mean? I think observe all things means observe yourself and then having the resolve so that you have the capability to observe outwards. So all these things, and Buddhist practitioners must be humble. And I like to probably end today's session with this, that Master in her book, in the Sutra of Infinite Meanings, talk about this, even though the sutra did not mention. I went back to the sutra to try to isolate a particular phrase that equates to humbleness. There was none. But this was what the Master told us in the book, explaining, because I see this as very important. Master would not say this unless to her this was very important. And she said, you must be humble. Said it several times in the book, even though there was no traces of it in the text. And that's where I come from, where the person asking the question first was being very respectful and asking for permission, because this question was very pointed. And the intention wasn't to challenge. On the other side, on the Buddha side, was also very humble, that I know you have a question. I know you need an answer. I know you're not challenging. I know you are not losing faith. I'm just going to give you the answer right away, because together we're going to walk through this journey. Okay. So that's my sharing for today. Today is a lot more, mind things going on, but I think it's good. Always trying to see more, because that's what the Buddha intended for us. He only had so much time to say so much words. The rest of it require us to figure out, what is our attitude? Are we being humble to figure this out? Do we put ourselves in their shoes to figure out, what if it were me? Would I feel this way? Don't just take it as a given. Take it as something that we need to practice. Think of it as somebody asking us a pointed question. Why, why, why? Would you still be humble and respectful in answering something that's so fundamental, a question? Maybe not. Maybe we should. Maybe we should. All right. So thank you for everybody's time. And I hope this gives us something that is something more to think about. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brother Joe, for the very insightful sharing. I mean, we learned that so much wisdom needed, to ask questions when and where and how. But the most important thing is being very respectful in our intent, humble in our demeanor, and never to come across as challenging the authority of the person that we are asking, in order to receive the right answers or to be guided to get to the right answers. And you mentioned about observing all things. I think one of the things that I've come across as being not easy, because very often we want to see what we want to see because of our attachments. So that is really something that, great to remind ourselves that all things that's non-dwelling, there's no duality in everything that we see. Thank you so much, Brother Joe. And may I request everyone to switch on their video so that we can take a picture with Brother Joe this morning. Cảm ơn so much, Brother Joe. Sister Siu Ching. Okay. Cảm ơn, Brother Joe. Thank you. Next, I would like to invite our master, our able master, Master Te Siu, who is going to share with us this morning the 6 perfections, especially Samadhi. Master Te Siu, over to you this morning.
Okay, good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure for me to hear. I would like to share with you a topic about meditative concentration and also called Samadhi. Okay, so why choose this topic? Because when walking the Buddhist path, we must go among people and engage with people from all walks of life, facing ever-changing circumstances. Without steady inner concentration, the mind is easily swayed by external conditions, make it difficult to give rise to clear wisdom to skillfully handle the complexities of human interactions. Only when the mind can remain settled in concentration can we stay unperturbed amid chaos. So let's begin with my PPT. Okay, so when speaking of meditative concentration, I'm reminded of the passage that the Master cherished most from the Infinite Meaning Sutra. It's serene and still, clear and pure. The aspiration is profound, vast, and tranquil, abiding unwaveringly in this state, even for billions of eons. Master Zhen say that this is a teaching from the Sutra of infinite meanings. Even after a long, long time, the vows in our hearts will never change. Master said, my path to monastic life was full of hardships, on a small wooden hut to the Jinsa abroad. Yet my resolve for practice has never changed. I always guard and disciplined my own mind well. I'm never affected or changed by time or circumstances. This is something that brings me comfort in this lifetime. In the vast world, I'm free to roam, and my heart can reach out to care for all who suffer, and then quickly return to focus on my own responsibilities. I always face human affairs with gratitude. I just diligently stay true to my own responsibilities. And I remember a story about an environmental volunteer. An elderly level volunteer had a very serious car accident. After being sent to the hospital, in waking up, she forgot everything. Although she forgot everything, but she remembered her commitment to the environment. So when recycling grandma left the hospital, she couldn't recognize people anymore, but she would still move around with some effort. Every day, regardless of the weather, Father Zicheng picked her up so she can continue her recycling work. It makes her very happy to be able to do it. All Grandma thought about was how to care for the earth and all its creatures. The desire to help others was rooted deep in her mind. Grandma was not the only one with such a resolute heart. Even the little animals remained steadfast and unwavering. Often people are greedy for quick comfort and tasty food. They find it hard to resist temptation because they don't have enough willpower. So let's take a look at this video.
Are you sure? Are you sure you don't want it? Pizza, anyone? Pizza, it's so good. Why you don't want it? You really prefer lettuce over pizza? No?
We should learn from our bunnies. I'm so surprised and it's so cute. So do not let your heart to be like the surface of the sea, easily swayed by the wind. Let your heart be like the deep sea, where even in the face of a storm, the deep sea remains calm, undisturbed. So whether life is easy or hard, good or bad, remain calm and unshakable. When facing any situation, whether it is easy or hard or bad, how can we keep our hearts calm and unmoved? How do we maintain the strength of a steady mind? I remember Shu Xian, our young volunteer Yu Zhen, she had the soft part, means the strength of patience and forbearance. Now she shared that when my classmates insulted me, I remember what the Master told us about patience and forbearance. I kept telling myself to swallow the anger and endure it so I wouldn't end up in a fight. So if someone hurts you on purpose, but you choose not to take it to heart and instead respond with tolerance and understanding, then naturally no inner demons, disturbing souls, or obstacles will arise in your mind. When someone causes you pain by accident, but you dwell on it and refuse to let it go, you are creating your own mental trap. By failing to protect your mind, you aren't the victim of their action, but the victim of your own choice to head down a troubled path. So, worries and inner demons are always waiting for the right moment to strike. So while walking the path of the Bodhisattva, we will encounter many disruptions, and obstacles. They are known as romantic obstacles. So how do we overcome the forces of distraction and temptation? I remember that in 2018, numerous local volunteers from South Africa fulfilled her life's wish by becoming a certificate teaching commissioner in her final days. Despite her extreme physical weakness, she insists that standing up to accept this girl's mission. As Grandma Mingsi lay in bed, gravely ill, she dreamt that a devil came to her. He stood before her and declared, "I'm here to take you with me." Wow. And then Grandma looked at the demon and said, "I'm James' disciple of the Master. I have the Master's teachings in my heart. Why don't you join me in doing Tzu Chi? Come and be a Tzu Chi volunteer with me." And then the demon replied, "Fine, I will do Tzu Chi with you, but first I must kill you and take you away." And then what happened? Grandma's mind did not falter. Even in the dream, she said to the demon, "Fine, you may kill me, because that is how you become a Tzu Chi person. But please remember, once you become one, you must stop killing. You must also become a vegetarian, for these are the teachings the Master has given us." So I say the Dharma is our mother. How was Grandma able to stay so calm and unshakable in her dream, even when faced with a demon threatening her life? I think it's because the Dharma is in her heart. She understands the truth. But let's listen to the Master's teaching.
净思维笼统一个字，叫做禅。在想那 就是禅、禅啦，得到禅的功夫啦，心会当定，才可以呢消灭了贪的念头。所以先要把心会晓静落来。那静落来呢，还要训练定的功夫，定才不会受外面的形形色色，还有呢，人的行为、人的声音引起了那个欲念，心还是保持了定。不要看别人的，有好的，有美的啊，家庭富有万贯，这如何让他的心啊不会起这种贪欲之念，还是回归于定？所以呢，要静而
Sorry for the internet. So the marrow of the Dharma enters the heart. The Dharma is like water, continuously nourishing the soil of our hearts. Otherwise, as soon as our mortal ignorance or afflictions are stripped, greed arises, and we lose sight of our true self. So, without the slightest deviation, remaining steadfast and unshakable, every second of every day, we must safeguard our innate goodness, manifest our inner virtue, and maintain our pure original nature. To remain untended while among the crowd is true mastery. So thanks for your time and thanks for listening. May all of you be well and at peace. Thank you.
感恩师父，感恩 for your very insightful sharing, especially with all the so many stories. And this is the first time I heard about this grandma. Her dream, and that is really what you have just said, and what Master in the video said. 静思维就是谈。And to have that means, okay, for our brothers and sisters who don't understand, it's quiet contemplation. And at the end of the day, is really to keep our mind stable, right? Regardless of whatever the condition that is out there. But that is the thing. It's so difficult, if we are in, an environment with a lot of food, we tend to be so tempted, but great that we are vegetarian. So, it is really to keep to that and understanding why we are doing this. So I suppose, Master, if, tell me if I'm wrong, that it goes back, like your beginning of your sharing, it goes back to the vow. How strong is our vow that we must remain steadfast and unmoving, right? For countless eons, lifetime after lifetime. And it is not just only for that moment. And for us, it's even so difficult for that moment. So how to keep our vow unchanging, our resolved, unwavering, and staying true to our own responsibility. So I think these are the messages that we gotten, this morning. But like Sifu, for you all to be in the board, I always say that, our Jingsi Sifu is really 能干, 能吃苦. Compared to a lot of people out there, and every time when I go back to the board, I feel so bad that I see Sifu having to cook for so many of us. Instead of us serving you, you are serving us. And then, after that, you all wash dishes. So it's really, what you see as your responsibilities. and the mind remained unperturbed. And I like the story about this little girl in our Jingsi Cafe. I've heard that stories many times, but every time, I feel that how, when their minds are so pure, they're able to take in master's teachings without questioning, like, don't get angry. If you get angry, you are allowing the inner demons to overcome you. Yeah, so it's, thank you so much,感恩 so much for your sharing this morning. And we have some time. I like to open the floor, for questions that our sisters and brothers may have. Anyone have any questions for Master Tersiu? Anybody? Sister Sujing? Yes.
师父早上好。
How?
Yeah, 感恩师父啊。My question is it easier to practice the six parameters at a boat compared to in our daily life? Like we are lay practitioners outside environment. Is it more difficult to practice it compared to if we are a boat? And is it a boat much easier, is there any challenge at a boat to practice this the six parameters, 师父?
Actually, it's quite difficult for it's also quite difficult for me to be like so I think we should be very grateful because of the Buddhists of the past. It gives us the opportunity to cultivate the power of concentration. I think in each practice, because we have lots of habits that is a long time ago we have cultivated. So it needs time to change. So we should cherish every opportunity to practice the mind, that how to be calm and steadfast in every situation. Okay, thank you.
感恩师父, yeah, it's not easy because our 师父 have to serve so many of us volunteers that keep coming to the boat. Yeah, 感恩师父, 感恩 Sister Kaping.
Yeah. So what you talk about habitual tendencies, and all of us have got, I uncountable, right, big or small. But Sifu, in the board, for you, what is your greatest challenge, though? I like to hear that.
I'm so sorry because of the time. I have another lessons have to prepare. So maybe we can have another time to share my experience.
Sister Suchin, can I get everyone to switch on their video to take a quick picture with Sifu Tersiu?
Yeah, please. Because the picture just now was not so perfect. Please. Okay. Sister YY.
Thank you.
You have to take photo also in case. Sister YY. Okay, let me try again. Okay, one can on the video. Okay, good. Now it's better. Done. 感恩.
感恩师父。
感恩师父.
感恩 everybody, and take care.
感恩.
感恩.
Next up, we have Brother Kevin. Brother Kevin, Hwang, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, brother.
Hi.
Good morning. And
Good morning.
What is your time there?
How are you guys?
We are well, brother. The last time, you came and spoke on our platform, and I remember you as the turbo charger on the freeway. You were very positive, and thank you, for sharing with us then, the exercises, all right, how to actually brush our spine that we never do, right? And that is
Right.
the way to get rid of all the interference from either our thoughts, our trauma, and the food, the bad food that we take in. So the 3 T's, yeah. So we are really looking forward to what you're going to share with us this morning to make us healthier.
Okay. Well, first of all, I really, really appreciate your introduction because that means you're a very good student. I never have a student that remember all what I say. You are awesome. You are awesome.
I didn't do all that, but I do a lot of forward bend and I do a lot of back bend. So I hope that is also brushing my spine.
Good, good, good. Well, that's Hela. I don't want to delay your program. So, good morning, everyone. Again, yeah, brother and sister. It's such my honor to meet with you guys again. Because I was worried about did I get fired or not, or did I get not inviting back or not. But you know what? I'm so happy I got invited. That means I didn't get fired. Okay, so that means we'll be together hope it's a longer time. Now, here's something I'm wishing, I'm hoping that one day will happen, is I really, really want to meet with each one of you guys in person. And so we probably can talk each other, laugh each other, hug each other, and teach you the spinal hygiene exercise, to share my knowledge with you, because that will be one of my wish. So hoping that wish will come true one day. All right. Now, even though we are so far apart, but I always can feel your passion, your energy, and your vibe. Hoping we can do that today again. So, just like a sister said, last time we talked about 3 stressors for your health. Number 1, well, if you can repeat that or you can raise your hand and let me know you remember that or not. The first one is what? Physical stressors. The number 2 is the biochemical stressors. And the last one is emotional or psychological stressors. So today we're going to get a little further, one step further, because I always said that health is not something we fix once. Health is not an event. Health is a process. So we got to practice every day, something that we need to practice daily. Because just like a compassion, just like a kindness, just like your service, it's not just one time only, right? You have to do that again and again and again. So health is also a daily habit. Let me pause a little bit about habit. I believe that, one of you guys have read a Steve Jobs book. In his book, this is what he said. It really, really stunned me and it really struck me. This is what he said. He said, the first 30 years of your life, you make habit. The next 30 years of your life, habits make you. Do you agree? It is so simple, but oh my goodness, it is so true. So why not we make a good habit? Since we're going to build habit anyway, let's make a good one. Let's make a right one. So let the habit run you without think about it. Right, so something like a brush your teeth. If you brush your teeth, become a habit. No matter what, even though you close your eyes in the middle of the night, you still know you need to brush your teeth. So that's what I'm hoping to share with you is the 5 simple habits, because they can recharge your body, your mind, your spirit every single day. And those habits are simple and are natural. Guess what? The best thing is they are free. All right. Good. I like that thumbs up. Very good. Now, let's begin. Now, you probably feel that sometimes you really want to helping people, serving people, but you feel tired. You say, you know what? My heart's still strong, but my body feel tired. That's why today matters. That's why we are here. I want you to feel energetic like me every single day. So that's number 1 is first habit is you gotta move your spine. Okay, moving is life. Motion is life. Do you agree? Give me the thumbs up. You agree, right? And moving is actually the fortune. When people say, I still can move, oh my God, I think I really, I will be happy. Every morning when I wake up, guess what I do? I wiggling my finger, I wiggling my toe. I say, wow, I still can move. Don't you think that's happy? That's the most happy things that in your life, that you still can move. So motion is life. You probably don't know that. Our spine, well, you probably do know that already after the first class, after the first meeting. Your spine protect all your nerve system. And the nerve system control everything in your body. Just like this. It control every single organ, your tendon, your ligament, your system, your cells. So in order to make your nerve system function, you gotta move your spine. Because when you move your spine, it stimulates your brain. And that nutrient go to your nerve system. So motion is very important. Now, I don't know you know this or not, but the Nobel Prize winner, a neurologist, Dr. Sperry, this is what he found out. Let me repeat that very slowly. 90% of the brain stimulation, the brain nutrition, comes from spinal movement. Okay, repeat one more time. 90% of the brain stimulation comes from spinal movement. I don't care how much you move. I don't care what kind of format you move. You can just dance like this way. You can do whatever that funny dance. It actually stimulates your brain and bring the nutrition to your brain. Now you know why a lot of people nowadays, we have a lot of brain issue. For example, dementia, Alzheimer's, because we are sitting and sitting and sitting. We sit when you're driving, we sit when you're working, we sit when you're using our phone, right? So here is what the new things that people are saying. Sitting is a new smoking. I believe that people heard about that. And also sitting is a modern cancer. It's actually from Stanford or Harvard University. They actually claim that sitting is the modern cancer. So please, let's get out and move. Now here's something I want you to remember, something like called 20, 20, 20, and 20. There's a 4 20s that you can practice every day. So the first 20 is when you're sitting for 20 minutes, then you better get out for moving for 20 seconds. So that's the second 20. And the third 20 is you will look far away, 20 feet or 20 miles away. And the last 20 is you blink your eye for 20 times. So that's what you do. Sitting for 20 minutes and get up, move around for 20 seconds, looking far away for 20 miles, and then blink your eye for 20 times. It's good for your eye. It's good for your body. It's good for your nerve system. And then the best thing is what? It stimulates your brain. And so your brain cell doesn't shrink. Your brain can function 100%. So if you can give yourself a 2 minutes in the morning, 2 minutes at night, and the best time to doing that practice for your spinal movement is when you brush your teeth. All right. I'm going to ask you, raise your hand if you brush your teeth. I hope I see everyone raise your hand, okay? If I don't see that, keep that yourself, all right? I don't want to go deep into that. So make sure that you brush your teeth in the morning and then brush your teeth at nighttime. So here's what you do. We have a 6 motion on your neck and then 6 motion on your lower back. I will show you that in a minute. And I'm hoping everybody go stand up and doing that together. Okay, so let's get up and I will go there and then we'll show you guys. Hope you guys can see me. Okay. Can you see me? Good. All right. So the first thing is you have to move your neck for 6 directions. So you go forward, and then of course you still brushing your teeth, right? And it's all electronical anyway. So you bend your neck down, go back. You bend your neck backward. Now here's the key. Try to touch your brain and your head to the back, not bending this way. That doesn't do anything. You have to make sure that your head really touching your back. And then your chin is really touching your chest. And then you do your side. Make sure your ear touching your shoulder, not your shoulder try to touching your ear, okay? So try to do this and then go back. And then you're going back this way, and then you're going back. And then you do rotation. You go far as you can go, not moving your upper body, just the head, and then come back. And then you're moving all the way to your right, and then come back. This is taking you about 1 minute. That's the upper body. And then you're still brushing your teeth, all right? Then you're moving down to your lower portion, which is same thing, 6 motion. You bend forward, and then you come back. And then you move backward, and then you come back. Then you do the side motion. Again, make sure that it's the lower back, not only the neck. So you're moving your lower back. I usually like to use is using your hand and then slide down to your knee. So you can feel that there is a reference. There is a reference point. You're going down this way, and then you go back, and then you're going all the way down, and that way. Then we do rotation, right? Same thing. You're still brushing your teeth at this time. The last 50 seconds. You're moving, and then you go, and then you're done. That's a 2-minute spinal hygiene. 2 minutes in the morning, 2 minutes at night. Can you do that? Raise your hand. Good. I'm not asking too much, do I? No, right? Not at all. You can do this one while brushing your teeth. You take care of your dental hygiene. You also take your spinal hygiene. What a deal. Okay? Now, so I already show you that you do 2 minutes at night, 2 minutes in the morning. That's very simple. That's the first one because that's called spinal hygiene exercise. Just like brushing your teeth. When your teeth clean, then your spine also do the exercise already. So make sure that you do that every day. Because when your spine moves, energy flows and the nerve communicate. Then the healing begins. So that's a habit number 1. Good? All right. Habit number 2, make sure that we drink enough water. Yeah, this is something that really bothered me because a lot of patients that they don't drink water enough. And the water, it is so important, especially for your spine. And I will get to that. And because when people always ask me that, okay, when to drink water, how much that water I should drink, I will share that with you. But you should know that our brain needs water. Aha! Awesome. I salute you. Okay. What a good model. All right. So brain needs water, muscle need water, joint need water, and the spinal disc need water. Brother and sister, that's called spinal disc. How much I believe that most of the people know this. That's called disc. And the disc has a crucial function. They will helping your disc move. There's a bouncing motion. They try to open the hole for you so there's no nerve interferences. There's no pinching nerve. And the last one is by pumping motion, they will provide the calcium and magnesium, all the mineral to your bone. So that's a healthy spine. You don't want to get into this. That is really called dehydration of the disc. Kind of just a piece of rubber. That causing a lot of trouble. Number 1, bone density lose, which is what? Osteoporosis. Spurs will form. 2, they will pinch the nerve, tingling numbness, pain everywhere. Like this. I will show you this nerve chart way, just like that. All right. So the nerve will from your lower back all the way to your leg, the one from your neck and all the way to your fingers. So that's the reason why the pinching nerve will causing tingling, numbness, all your extremities. So the disc need water, please. And then that's the healthy one. And then that is the dehydration one. Which one you like? This or that? I hope you choose this. Yeah? Okay, good. The next one I want to talk about is that when do you drink water? I mean, the first thing you should drink water is when the moment that you wake up. Before your coffee, before your tea, and before your phone. Okay? I think people wake up, the first thing is what? They look at your phone. Oh yeah, someone go travel. Oh my God, look at that. Someone just buy the new clothes, new shoes, all right? And people on vacation. Yeah, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't go into the social media first. Drink water before everything. Because without the water, you will get fatigue, you will get headache, you will get poor digestion, and then joint stiffness, all from the water. So I believe that when you go to gym, workout, and then you run the miles, right, your muscle gets sore. And then once you drink the water, your muscle will heal quickly and easily. Same thing as a headache. When people has a headache, I always tell them that, do you drink the water? Maybe not. So once they drink water, the headache will go away. So make sure that you have this habit is, don't wait until you feel thirsty and then drink water. Because how many of us drink water only when we already feel thirsty? Sometimes that's too late. So by the time you feel thirsty, your body may already been asking for help. For example, I just told you that the fatigue, the headache, the digestion, and the joint. So make sure that you drink about half your body weight in ounce of water daily. Okay, so just like a sister, that you always carry the bottle, water bottle everywhere. And you know, the best thing is you put your water bottle everywhere. And then when you see water bottle, you probably just sip on it. And I think that's the best way. Don't wait until like, oh my God, I feel so thirsty. And then you go to drink, sometimes it's a little bit too late. Your cell is already being dehydrated. Your disc is already being dehydrated. Okay, so that's number two. Because when you have the water, think about the water is a life energy. The life energy for your cells. So when water flows, life flows. Because we need water. Every cell is looking for water. And same thing as oxygen. That's why breathing is so important too. And which is we're going to get to that. That will be our one of our habit. Any questions? Good? All right. So the next question, so the next habit, it will be eat real food. Let me repeat that. Eat real foods. Nowadays, we don't eat foods. There's so many chemical inside the food, right? We agree. Everything is chemical because it tastes good, it looks good, and the texture is so good, but they are not real. They all have preservative. They all have a chemical into it. So eat the real food. And then you probably heard that already. You are what you eat, right? We all heard about that. But I want to get a little further. You are what you eat, what you absorb, and what you digest. So it's not just what you eat. You need to make sure that, oh, what do I put on the plate? What should I put the ingredient? And then how do I get my digestion better so you can absorb and digest well? So the number one I want you to think about this is the food is not just calories. They are information. The food actually give your brain information. If you eat junk food, then your brain receiving a junk information. If you give in the real food, then the brain will receiving the real information. So, for example, processing food, sugars, chemicals, they create inflammation. A lot of time that we get inflamed, we don't even know. And then because we're causing by those sugar, high sugar intake, what is that called? Boba tea, right? And the chemical food, yeah, those are really, really a killer. So when I say natural food, means vegetable, any kind of fruit, seasonal fruit, whole grain, nuts, and because those are bring life into your body. Because already been passing the lunchtime. Otherwise, I will show you about what my lunch is about. So the lunch box, what I have, which is my wife prepared for me, is they have a divider. So my lunch box have a divider, and then each box will contain different things. For example, and make sure that it's more than 5 colors. All right, so make sure that you eat rainbow of colors. Like for example, zucchini is green, lettuce is green, tomato is red, green what is that called? Bell pepper. You have an orange, you have a yellow, I have a black bean, red bean, yellow bean. You also have tofu, and eggplant, purple. Make it's a colorful lunchbox. Make a colorful on the plate. Do you agree when you look at colorful things, you smile, you get happy, right? But if you are like, all one color food, I don't think that will give you too much appetite. So make sure that your plate, your lunchbox is so colorful that increasing your appetite, increasing your eating mindfulness. So eat a rainbow of the colors, and each color it brings different nutrient and healing benefit. I think we all know about that. Like I say, this today it's just to create the 5 habits first. And I can dive in each time when I meet you guys. Like for example, I can teach you individual category, like what to eat, what kind of food, and then what's the nutrient inside and what the benefit that give to you. We can dive in more in the future. Now, next time before you eat, I really want you to pause and ask yourself, will this meal give me energy or this meal will take away energy from me? So when you prepare the food, if you ask these questions, trust me, this one question can change your life. Because when you prepare your food, you say, I don't think this one will give me energy. I think this one will take away energy from me. So think about that. Again, sugar, chemical, purified rice, purified flour, those will take the energy from you. But instead, the seasonal fruit, the different color of the veggie, it will give you a life. So I really want you to think about that. Because a food can be medicine, and it's a good medicine. But sometimes can be what? Poison, right? If you choose the wrong food. So that's a habit number 3. You gotta eat real food. Not expensive food, it's a real food. Number 4. I want you to start practicing about calm your mind. When you stress, when you nervous, guess what happened? Your body get tightness, your heart rate increase, your blood pressure getting too high, and your heating goes down. I think we all know about this concept because the mind is so powerful. The mindset is so meaningful and so powerful. So but when your mind is calm, your body shift into the healing mode. Do you agree? So let's do some exercise together, which is a breathing exercise, what I mentioned before. I'm going to teach you this breathing, which is, you probably know that already. It doesn't matter what kind of breathing exercise you do. Sometimes they say 7, 8, 4, 4, 4, 4, or different numbers. But today I'm going to introduce the simple one. It's just 4, 4, 4, 4. Like what I mentioned before, 20, 20, 20, 20. I like to use a simple way because life is simple. My life is very simple. And simple is always the beautiful things to do. Now, here's what I'm going to teach you what to do, and we can do together. So when you inhale, when you take a breath in, you count 4 seconds. So like, you count 4. And then you hold 4 seconds. You just kind of silent and then 4 seconds. And then when you exhale, you blow out 4 using so you breathe in with your nose and blow out your mouth. And then you breathe out 4 seconds. And then you hold 4 seconds again. All right, brothers and sisters, let's do this together. Ready? Okay, I can't, I have to count for you guys. So let's go breathing together. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. That's a good practice. And then we do this one again and again. And it only takes about 5 to 10 times. If you want to do 5 to 10 times, it only takes about a minute. Less than a minute. So that 1 minute can changing the message your body is receiving. Because you tell your nervous system what? I am safe. I can relax. And I can heal. That is a message when you're doing this breathing exercise. you let the body calm, you let your mind calm, and that's what we do. Because a peaceful mind is a powerful medicine. It's a really, really powerful energy. And then we need that because we are always get go on the edge, and you get crazy and then get, shouting, yelling. But you gotta calm your mind. When you calm your mind, your body is relaxing. And with your body relaxing, that's what the healing power kicking. Next one, which is the last one, gratitude. Practice gratitude every day. I do that. I'm hoping everybody do that. So how do I do that? I always, it's very, very simple. Think about one person you are grateful for, or you just think about one thing that you're grateful for. For example, 2 days ago, today's what? Today's Friday. Oh my God, time goes fast. Last Sunday, I just went to outreach. By the way, I've been doing outreach for 28 years. Okay, and then I do at least 4 times a year to do the outreach, medical outreach. So I always grateful for those patients, for my family, allow me to go out and they support me to go outside and serving others. I'm grateful for my daughter. I'm grateful for my niece. She actually sitting right next to me. And then I'm grateful for everyone that actually give me the meaningful life. Oh, I see that heart bubbling. Awesome. So thinking about one thing that blessing in your life, thinking about something that it make you feel good about it, something that you're so thankful for it. And that is really, really good practice for the gratitude. Now, that feeling, when you're doing that, when you think about good thing, when you think about something you're thankful for, it really, that feeling is also healing. And I totally believe that you know that. You know that feeling, and you've been there before. When you go and serving people, when you go home, you feels good. And that is a healing power. So before you go to bed, that's that night, I want you to start tonight before you go to bed. Think about 3 people. Think about 3 things that you are grateful for. And then you start thinking about because the small things count. That even that small 3 things, it can change in your body, your mind, and your life. So practice on that. And those are the 5 habits that I really want to share with you. Very simple, like I told you before. Simple, easy, and free. Do you agree? Yes. Now, the next one, which is we're going to wrap it up, is since we're learning those 5 simple habits, which let me repeat that one more time. Move your spine, drink enough water, eat the real food, calm your mind, and practice gratitude. By doing that, even though you're thinking those are small actions, but the small action repeated daily, it creates lifelong health. And health is not, again, I'm told, keeping saying that, health is not just one big decision. It's a lot of many small choices every day, right? When you wake up, you say, should I drink coffee first or should I drink water first? That's a choice. Make a good choice. Should I pick up the phone first and see what they are doing, or go downstairs and then drink water? It's all about choices. When you're making the good choices, small choices, those accumulation of good habit, it will give the lifelong health. So, brothers and sisters, your dedication, your life, and being helping others. So please, to continue this beautiful mission, you must also take care of yourself. So remember that one more time. Let's read this together, loud together. Move well, drink well, eat well, think well, and live well. So you can serving well. So when you care for our body, calm your mind, nutrition our spirit, we are not being selfish. We are actually protecting the instrument that allow us to serve, which is you, which is me, which is everyone that's serving people. We gotta protect ourselves first before we start helping other people. So practice those 5 simple habits, and that will give you lifelong health. Small daily habits can become a great lifelong blessing, which is I repeat that. So at the end, May you be healthy in your body, peaceful in mind, and joyful in spirit. So your light can continue to blessing everyone around you. Thank you so much for the time. And this is what I want to share with you guys.
Yeah, brother, thanks so much. If we can do these 5 habits, we will
Yes, exactly.
will be the spotlight wherever we go, right?
Right. Because remember that last time I also talked about that. Do you live? Do you love? Do you matter? Right? You matter every single day. Everyone. You probably don't know that. Even the handshake, even just a patting someone's shoulder, you matter that person. Even that little heart signal, you really matter people. So gotta love, gotta matter, and gotta live. And in order to live longer than what you want, you gotta practice 5 small habits every single day. Good.
Thank you.
I
I have
will.
one question though.
Please,
When
please,
you talk about the 2020,
Yes.
the first is that if you sit for 20 minutes, you have to get up and walk for 20 seconds and then
Yes.
look far for 20 miles. How to practice that?
Oh, how to practice that? So this is what you do. So after 20 minutes, you're done, right? So you get up and then you jog around like 20 seconds. In the meantime, you're looking further down, like further, whatever the object that you can pick up, the car running on the street or something on the field, you just kind of like moving around. And then you look far away and then you blink your eyes at the same time, 20 times. Or you can do separately. You can just do, by the way, yeah, you can do Bruno Mars dance. Okay,
Wow.
you can do that. Yeah, you can do everything you want. Make it fun, make a joke, make it like a kids. Yeah. When you have a young mind, I'm 62 years old. Nobody believes that I'm 62. Okay? But when you keep yourself young, you have a young mind. Oh my goodness, trust me. That you are driving, that you are like a mechanism, like a magnet, that people will suck by you because your energy, your vibe, your passion. And that's what we do because we want helping people. I believe that everyone wants to help people, brothers, sisters. And I'm counting on you. And I know you're doing the great thing. That's why I'm going to join you. I want to meet you, each one of you guys one day.
Yeah, so I think moving the spine and all that, moving the body. But what about? I mean, you talk about 2 minutes in the morning, 2 minutes at night. What about those of us who, let's say, do yoga and Pilates, Qigong, or whatever,
Yes. So
walking?
I'm going to use in this analogy. Okay, so think about you brush your teeth, right? In the morning and at the nighttime. Do you floss in your teeth? Do you?
Yes.
Yes. So Pilates, yoga is what you floss your teeth. Through the day, right? So you floss your day after meal, you flossing 3 times a day or whatever. That is to maintain your daily activities. But in the morning, you do those exercises, bend forward, bend backwards, side, rotation. That's what the stretching in the morning, kind of like a brush your teeth. So I always using dental hygiene to the spinal hygiene. It's the same thing. You need to brush your teeth, you do stretching. You need to floss your teeth, you do routine exercise during the day. Yeah, and that's very simple to understand. And people understand and they're willing to do it. If you tell them that, sir, you need to do exercise, they first thing is, oh my God, I don't have time. I don't want to do this. They give you a lot of excuse. But once you tell them that, do you brush your teeth? You do? Great. Only 2 minutes. While you brush your teeth, they're willing to do it because it doesn't take that much time.
Great. I think
Right?
that is the mind, right?
Exactly. It's all mindset. I told you that mind is so powerful. Another example, right?
Right. Can earn so much.
Um,
We really look forward to, the next session. What are the other tips, and I hope all brothers and sisters, online today, will practice and come back like a spotlight. Looking like a
Next time, I
spotlight.
hope that I can see everybody have a big shining things above their head. Yeah. Yeah. And then they will get younger. They will get younger and younger every day if they practice this 5 habits. Only 5. Yeah. Not 6, not 7. Just do those 5.
Yeah, I think, the energy flow is is the most important, right? If you don't move
Yes.
the body, there is no way that the chi flows, right?
Right, right.
And
Yeah. Kanin.
we really hope that you will come back. Sister Moon says she wished that her doctors are like you, and I want to tell her that her doctors charge her, but our brother Kevin here is free of charge.
Awesome.
Okay, Kat Ern.
And
Yeah. So before we end, Sister Siting, you want to take over?
Sister Kapi, you can proceed you can proceed to lead us, Kak Ern.
Yeah, may I invite Abbot Master to guide us to pay our tribute to Buddha, Master, and Abbot Master. First bow, second bow, third bow, and a bow to our Abbot Master. Kat Ern, brothers and sisters, for joining us this morning. And Kat Ern, Brother Kevin, hope you will be back soon, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, surely we will. Even brother coming back soon, very energetic.
Okay, Kat Ern, brothers and sisters, see you all next Sunday, next Saturday.
See everyone.